Here we have it. This is the SMRTIPLX model number S398. This is a video smart door lock. It works with right and left hand doors. Let's open up the box and go through everything. First, we find the user manual, instructions how to install, set up the app. This is the template in case you're installing this on a brand new door. This is the 10,000 milliamp battery, chargeable with a USB. Manufacturer says that you might need to charge it every 6 months or so. Here we have the door strike or deadbolt, nice sturdy. This is the video doorbell. You plug this into the USB. This is the inside unit. So here we have the 3.5-inch LCD screen and your manual lock and unlock. So this is the outside unit. Here's the high definition camera. Up here we have the fingerprint sensor. This is the sensor for the key cards. I'll show you that in a second. And the doorbell I was telling you about. Here is the lock, which you can cover with this little waterproof cover in case, just to keep the elements out of there. But if you need, it has backup keys, which is always nice to have. So these are those key fobs that I told you about. You just bring it up and put it in front of the unit and it unlocks the door for you. It comes with 4 physical keys, some additional screws. These screws here are to lock the unit in place once it's all mounted. The unit has up to 50 passcodes or 100 fingerprints. To remove the old lock set is pretty simple. Open the door. You have to lock the door so you can access the 2 screws counterclockwise. And that's it. Now we're going to remove the deadbolt and it's out. Now we're ready to put in the new lock. All right, let's start installing the new one. So this is the new deadbolt. You have to make sure this part here faces down. Slides in just like that. The unit came with new screws. This is the old one, that's the new one. See how it's much longer. You want to make sure these bottom out, but they don't have to be super tight. Now we're going to install the outside unit. You got to make sure these wires face down. This little bar here is going to slide into the new deadbolt. You're going to align the 2 screws and it just slides in place. So now we have to install the inside plate. The lock comes with 2 different bolt sizes, A and D. I use D, which are the shorter ones. I have a standard thickness door frame. So now to put in the plate, make sure the wires are at the bottom. They're going to come down here. Slide that in like that. Before you tighten this good, you want to make sure it's level straight up and down with the door frame, and you want to make sure the outside part also is. All right, so now we have to put in the outside part. So now we got to put this part on. So this is the inside with the manual lock and all the computer and LCD screen and everything. We just got to make sure that we plug these in. They only fit one way, so it's not possible to really make a mistake. There's these little hooks. So once we plug in the wires, that's 1 and 2. So you want to push it up a little bit. Slide it into the pins, those hooks, and then push down. And that's it. I haven't charged the battery. I should charge the battery, but I'm just going to verify. So you can see the LCD screen already working. You can see outside. Very nice. The buttons that we have here in the back. This button here, which is a electric unlock instead of having to manually unlock it. And then we have another one here which turns on the screen so you can see what's on the other side of the door. Now let's get into all the features that the door has. As I said, the door has a little doorbell. Now let's get into the unlock and lock. So first it's going to be the key card unlock, and then the auto lock feature. So it's got a auto lock feature that you have to enable, but after 5 seconds it will automatically lock the door again. So that works with any way that you open the door, it will auto lock it. So fingerprint. And again, after 5 seconds, it will lock the door again. And then keypad. And that's the keypad. And then the last feature, which is my favorite. Alexa, unlock the front door.
Unlocking. Hang on. The video lock Wi-Fi is unlocked.
And then it will unlock itself. One thing I like when I tell Alexa to unlock it, it's asking me for another code that you put in to unlock it. It doesn't have to be the same that's on the device itself, but it's an Alexa code. So that's really nice. So no one can just unlock it. Now we're going to install the app, set it up. First, you open up the phone application, scan the QR code, and you install the app. It should be a fairly quick install. It's not a huge app. We're done. Now we're going to open it. You got to put in your password, your email address and password. I already created an account, which is pretty simple. You got to set up your wireless now.
Network configuration in progress. Please put your finger. Please put your finger. Please input again.
All right. So we hit on there.
Unlock.